trials and trial, we have gathered for today the father of the heliocentric theory, Copernicus, and the father of observational astronomy, Galileo Galilei.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad I'm able to have a space to share about my theories. As this man just said, I picked up about the early 16th century, the heliocentric theory. For background, I am a cathedral canon who was involved in the ecclesiastical administration. I am also a professor trained in law and medicine. I suggested that the sun was to lie at the center of the universe. Me and my religious superiors are aware that certain biblical references predicate the immobility of Earth and the motion of the sun. And stuff around there. Of course, my ideas were controversial as they contradicted the scripture. Mind this, there are some parts in the scripture that are not to be taken literally, thus letting me come up with my interpretation of it.
I assume you had critics then. Could you name some?
Definitely. Martin Luther King, actually, was one of my biggest critics. Can you believe he even called me a fool? He argued that in the Bible, Joshua had commanded the sun to stand still and not the earth. So, I could argue that he is the fool instead. But I have not the energy for that, as it is my ideas that are accepted today.
Well, that was all from our guest, Copernicus. We will now take a look at a familiar topic regarding science and religion. Please welcome our guest, Galileo Galilei.
A pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. If you may, could you introduce yourself to those who might not be familiar with you?
Oh, for sure. My name is Galileo Galilei. I've been working in the field of astronomy for quite a while now. I invented the telescope and aimed several formations as well. I shared my multiple other findings to the field. I also discovered that the Earth actually goes around the Sun, unlike what others believe at my time.
Well now, hasn't that been much help on our current time? Interesting to talk with a man who will help us even know more about expansive and mysterious world. Well then, regarding the find, what do you think of Copernicus and his theories? Do you have any relation with it?
Oh well, about those, see, I like Copernicus. He's a smart guy. My theories actually developed as a support of his. I will say my theories more elegant, but, you know.
What is this? How can you interview this man who is such possessed with pride and arrogance?
I have no idea what you're talking about. And how dare you barge in? This is my interview, isn't it? Who didn't argue anyway?
That is not your concern. He is a liar. He didn't discover sunspots, nor did he invent the telescope, merely improved it. He even has bad eyesight. How is a blind person trustworthy enough to make statements about things that he can't even see well?
Well, that's ableist. Even though I have my difficulties with darkness, that certainly hasn't been a problem for me to innovate and provide astounding results in these.
Astounding results? Your theory isn't even proven to be true. It is merely that, a theory. If there were a demonstration that the sun is at the center of the world, and the earth is the third heaven, and that the sun does not circle the earth, but the earth circles the sun, then one would have to proceed with great care in explaining the scriptures that appear contrary, and say rather that they do not understand them and that what is demonstrated is false. But I will not believe that there is such a demonstration until it is shown to me.
Parts of the Bible can be disproven by science, I'd say.
Now won't you look at that?
You are under arrest.
After this incident, Galileo was sentenced for 10 years. He was able to practice physics, and surprisingly enough, he was better at physics than astronomy, giving Newton some ideas about that. The church, however, knowing that this, or his work, wasn't much trust, even if he wasn't arguing religion itself, suppressed his books to blacken his reputation, and the papacy never quite came to terms with his discovery. All of this until Pope Benedict XIV, who approved the publication of a complete edition of Galileo's work, granting them the imprimatur. And today we certainly have no call to apologize for the censure of Galileo. But why are we talking about this? Why is it still relevant? What's the point of resurrecting Galileo's case again and again? Well, it's mostly still present the idea that the Church is not opposed to science, and that there can be a coexistence, or even a combination of science and religion. In 1939, near the beginning of his pontificate, Pope John Paul II ordered a review of the Galileo affair. He explained the underlying problems faced by the case. The original comedy that tried Galileo was quite aware of the scope of those limits, which were the very reason for the trial. It was Galileo who would not accept them. In any case, this non-committal statement by the Pope was trumpeted in the media throughout the world as an apology that admitted the Church's error in condemning Galileo. The various churches' oppositions remarked as unscientific, which reinforces the lie that religion and science are incompatible. For its most zealous adherents, science was scientism, the only reaction of the world. By the time of Galileo in the early 17th century, natural science, especially astronomy, was attracting everyone from scholars to teaching despots, to the Pope and even members of the Curia. Both clerical and secular scholars were fascinated by new scientific discoveries. So sciences were allowed to flourish in the West throughout the Middle Ages and into the age of Copernicus and Kepler, with the encouragement and patronage of the Catholic Church.
Audio Jungle.